Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello, everybody. Today I'm interviewing Gavin Welch, a business owner, investor, realtor, entrepreneur, coach, trainer, internet radio moderator from Lakeland, Florida. He's a third-generation real estate professional that is passionate about real estate, and he uses the latest technologies to market his clients' homes to buyers across the world. Since 2014, he's been podcasting his national real estate internet radio show called The Real Estate Loop, in which he interviews real estate professionals from across the U.S. about what they are currently doing and seeing in the market. He also teaches and trains beginning real estate investors to identify and purchase high-returning cash flow properties. Welcome, Gavin. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Gavin, before we get into your business, could you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Well, I think you about summed it up. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm in the real estate. I've been in the real estate, and I'm just trying to help others make money in real estate.
Cool. Well, now let's talk about what led you into real estate. Is that something you always wanted to do, or did you just stumble into it?
No, it's something I've always wanted to do. My family's in real estate. Some of my earliest memories with my dad is, moving houses and clearing roads and rehabbing houses, and so we've kind of always been in it.
Cool. And we talk sometimes about our personal attributes that make us good at what we do. Why don't you talk about your personal attributes or traits or qualities that you think contributed the most to your success?
I'm a tinkerer, and I'm a serial learner. So I spend a lot of time studying what other people are doing, and then I'll try that to see if it works for me. And if it doesn't, then I'll stop, and then I'll try something else. And I'm always tinkering with new ideas and new systems to see if they work. And if they don't work, I scratch them. And if they do work, I keep them.
Great. And why don't you give us a few examples of how that helped you be successful?
Well, right now, I'm having a lot of success on using YouTube videos for both investors and for selling properties, and also for investors, especially investors are not here local to me. Mm-hmm. And with iPhones and technology the way it is, I can shoot these videos off my phone, literally send them to an investor or a client, say, hey, what do you think? And then have them make a decision like they're here with me. Another thing is I'm using a lot of drone video.
Cool.
So I bought a drone, we're flying drones and using that. And, even the elevated picture of the house, that instead of being front on, if you lift it up about 20 degrees with the drone, you get 30% more views on that listing.
Oh, that's spectacular, right? I mean, people just get the better views, like those special real estate pictures from the inside of a house versus the regular pictures. You just see more.
Yep.
Cool. Like anything, nothing is ever in a straight line, so success included. So what are some of the major adversities or trials you had to overcome to be where you are now?
I think we all have the negative self-talk where, especially in real estate, there's an 80% or higher failure rate in the first year. And everybody thinks it's easy and, whatever. But we all face that every morning to get up, especially in real estate. You've got to hustle. You've got to make it happen. You've got to get on the phone. You've got to follow up. You've got to meet people. And I think everybody deals with that self-talk. It's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not, I can't do this. It doesn't work, or I'm just not making this, just a negative self-talk that really, that really gets in our head and plays against us. Like if a deal falls apart or somebody says no to you, especially if you're like cold calling, it's traumatic when people tell you, no, we don't want to work with you.
Yeah. Well, that's a great comment, actually. And that brings me to the next one. How do you deal with this? I mean, what keeps you going? Because that's one thing we do with these interviews. We try to inspire entrepreneurs and to learn from successful entrepreneurs, and maybe getting a tip or two from experts like you will help them dig deeper whenever they face these obstacles. So what keeps you going whenever you face these huge obstacles?
I just love spending time with my kids, and they're my why. My family's my why, And you know what? It's not personal. If people don't want to do business with me, that's fine. Good luck to them. I'm sure hope they find a great agent. And, I do a lot of work with for sale by owners. And for sale by owners don't like agents, and that's fine. And, and I offer them value and first, and then a lot of them do work with me. But, we all have to get over these obstacles, move forward, don't take it personally, and just keep on pushing. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless of how people react around me.
Cool. That's a great advice. So not to take it personal, right?
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward, what's your vision about your business in the next 5 years or so?
The next 5 years, our team is expanding greatly. We're moving to a new office. We've got new team members coming on, almost weekly. And we're taking some of these newer agents and new agents that we have, and we're building them up so they can build strong businesses. We're adding more transaction coordinators and assistants to help facilitate in the paperwork and the stuff that sometimes ties a lot of agents and people in real estate down, and kind of gets everybody free to be out in the field. So our 5-year plan is to really solidify the team. We're putting more as we grow. We're putting more lead generation systems in place that are working, and we're building it organically. We're not into this super fast growth model. Our growth model in 5 years is we're going to be where we're going to be, but we want to have a very strong team.
I think lead generation system is kind of the life and blood of a lot of real estate businesses. So why don't you tell us a bit more about how you feel you need, or what the best will be to continue to market yourself?
Well, marketing myself, I use several things. The podcast I started just because I like teaching the real estate investing has turned into a lead generation model. A lot of investors reach out to me. It didn't start out as, hey, I'm going to attract people to me with the podcast, but because I'm an investor, I know a lot of investors. So like with newer agents that have, a very little sphere of influence, have very little experience, I match them with some of these investors because these investors have turnkey properties that they want to sell. So we can start pre-marketing an investor's property 2 or 3 weeks before it's actually ready. And when this house is ready for an open house, it's going to be turnkey, granite countertops, tile floors. It's going to be beautiful. So then I get my agents out there a couple days before. We door knock the neighborhood. We personally invite the neighbors. We put out 100 signs. We attract people like on Wednesday, start attracting to the neighborhood and to the house. So by the time that open house rolls around, we've got 70 to 100 people coming through the door. My agents are capturing the information. They're getting listings and buyers off of this, and the investors are getting their homes sold quicker. So we're leveraging agents with investors.
Sounds to me like you got lots of systems in place, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, well, you have to have systems because, in the real estate business, it's all about leads and follow-ups. Most agents don't follow up more than once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can follow up, I've literally got a board with 8 or 9 closings from houses that expired last year, but nobody followed up with them after about a month. So, around the first of the year, I start calling homeowners that expired last October. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, I see your house expired. Are you ready to relist it? Well, yeah, we are. Nobody's called us. Great. When can we meet? So it's things like that if you do the uncommon, instead of calling somebody whose home has expired today, why don't you wait a month or two? Because most of the people whose homes expire, if they're going to relist, fine, they're going to relist in a couple of days. But a lot of them wait a month or two because it's so traumatic that their house hasn't sold and they're tired of showings and people coming through and making their bed every day. It takes about a month or two for them to get ready to relist. So, I'm training my new agents, look, don't call them today if their house expires today. Wait 3 weeks, then call them. Wait a month, then call them. Keep calling them because most of the agents are not going to call back after 1 or 2 times.
That's a huge golden nugget right there, I believe. Speaking of realtors in general, there are lots of misconceptions out there about working with a realtor. What do you think is the biggest misconception or the myth that people have about working with a realtor?
Well, I don't know. In the industry, you have good people and you have bad people. And I think the biggest misconception is my agent doesn't see very much or doesn't do very much. And the reason that myth is out there is because agents don't stay connected with their clients. They don't tell their clients, hey, we did this, we did that. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our upfront marketing plan that we're going to follow. We're going to list it. We're going to do this. We're going to see the feedback. We're going to start doing showings. We're going to do brokers open. If you keep a constant contact with your clients, they will know exactly what I'm doing for them to get their houses sold. I send them copies of the listings. I send them copies of the feedback, how many people have seen it online. Every week I'm sending them these things so they know week to week what I'm doing, and they can see, they have a tangible evidence of what I'm doing to get their house marketed. I'm not in the real estate business. I'm in the marketing business. I market homes for buyers.
Wow.
That's why people hire me. They're hiring me to market homes. So I've got to give feedback on my marketing.
It's an awesome perspective. On that note, you started this answer by saying there are some good ones and bad ones, whatever job we're talking about here, whatever specialty. What would you tell a family member, a loved one, or whatever that's on the other side of the country where you can't really help them personally? How would you advise them to choose a realtor, or just how would you advise them to sell their home?
I would advise them to, if they're going to interview agents, to get a list of clients from the agent. Say, look, I want a list of your past clients, and I want to call them. Number two is I want to know how many listings you take, and of those, how many you sell. Because I know in my market, some of the top agents, they're top agents. They take hundreds of listings, and they're not their listings. They're the team's listings put in their name. So they look like they're a top agent. But in reality, they're taking all their team listings, putting them in their name. But number two, they've got a very low sales rate. They may take 150, 200 listings, but only sell 20. Well, I'm a different model. I only take 25, and I sell all 25. So which would you rather be hiring? Somebody who's got a 20% sales ratio or somebody who's got a 90% sales ratio?
Great advice. Well, on that note, this was very intense in terms of all the nuggets that you just threw at us. I appreciate that very much. What about if our listeners want to learn more or get in touch with you? How should they go about doing that?
You can always find me on the podcast, which is in iTunes at the Real Estate Loop, or you can email me at gavin@thereloop.com.
Perfect.
And I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Awesome. Well, Gavin, thank you so much for taking the time to doing this with us. This was extremely interesting. Like I said, there were a lot of gold nuggets in there. So any real estate agents in there, I hope that you'll take this interview to heart and listen to it again, because I'm sure you can boost your business a lot by taking some of these advices that Gavin just gave us. So once again, a huge thank you, and I wish you an amazing day.
Thank you, Eric.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.